Thank you for tuning in to Think Tech Friday. I'm your host, Attila Suresh. Thank you so much for tuning in, and of course, thank you for liking us on Facebook. Just go ahead and search for us, thinktechhawaii.com. In our continuing series, Next Big Thing, we look for small companies here locally and across the globe that are doing interesting and innovative stuff, and we want to give them a little bit of that Think Tech bump. You know those guys that are out there eating chips and soda in the middle of the night, working hard, making the next big app, making the next big thing? Well, that's who we have on the show. And with us today, we are actually joined by Skype. We have the founders of Juicy. They make accessories that are, you know, a little bit better than this thing right here. And this is, of course, the charging cable for my iPad. But they have something better. And with us today is Lawrence Laudowicz. Hey, Lawrence, can you see us? Hey, I
can't see, but I hope you can see us.
All right. Hey, I like your hat there. It looks like you guys, where are you guys anyway?
We're in San Francisco right now, actually, in the financial district right now. We're going to be here for a couple of days, and then we're going to bounce Vegas bound.
Oh, wow. So what are you doing in San Francisco?
Right now, actually, I'm meeting with this guy right here, which is Hannes. He's my business partner. He just flew in from Germany, and most of the time we work together virtually. However, every few months we get the premium chance of working together physically, which means we actually share space for a while together.
Yeah.
And so you guys kind of meet up in the middle. Now you're based out of Hawaii, right?
Yes, I live in Honolulu, and this guy lives in
Germany.
Wow, that's pretty international cast though. But you know, the way I found you, of course, was on your very successful Kickstarter campaigns. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about your product and you know where you came up with the idea for it?
Okay, so with the recent launch of this little baby here, which I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen or not, which is the golden iPhone 5S, and then prior to that there was the silver and black iPhone 5. We figured that there is the need for something new and something better. So about 2.5, 3 years ago, we had a Kickstarter campaign for colorful cables, which was charge and sync cables, kind of to replace this existing white cable that was out there for devices. And this year, we decided to top that. And instead of going with colors, we decided to go with premium, high-quality materials. And what we did is build this and this. I'm not sure if you can really see it on the camera, but it's
They look fancy. What's so fancy about them?
It's a tangle-free woven cable made from premium materials, where the edges are actually like the connector parts are actually made from aluminum. It's like airline aircraft grade aluminum, and yeah, that's kind of what we did, and did well on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I'm actually looking you up on Kickstarter right now. It looks like you actually went through 2 successful campaigns that were both funded, and
yes.
I saw a colorful version. And how come the new version isn't so colorful anymore?
Well, I think as times change, people are looking for new and other things. The colorful cables are actually doing real well. So we've been selling this for the past 2 years, working with distributors in different parts of the world with those. But for us using these devices, Hannes, I'm not sure if you have yours with you right now. He's actually he's a big Android fan. So this guy, he's got the HTC One.
So we are fighting all the time.
Fighting all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold this
Apple
up so you can kind of see.
guy.
Maybe we'll get a better picture of it over here. It looks like you're right, like a little kind of like aircraft aluminum type of cable there. And
yeah, so this is it. He's got the HTC One phone, and then there's a Samsung S4. So there's a lot of people that have the Android phones that have high quality materials, and then of course there's the iPhones and iPads which have that same material. And so, having dealt with this kind of product for the past 2.5 years now, we felt that it makes a lot of sense to actually make a charging cable that matches that premium quality of the actual device. And so we put the idea up on Kickstarter with the prototypes that we had built, and people loved it.
So
yeah, it's true, because this is the one that came with my iPad, and it looks like junk. But what I'm starting to see is some imitators now to your product. So I think you guys are onto something.
It goes quick, yeah. So we hope so.
Now, you've run 2 successful campaigns. You have these cables. So what is about the price point on these cables?
So
it depends on, I guess, what you are asking, the price point on Kickstarter or the price point afterwards. So during the campaign, we offered them to, like, I guess, the early birds for $15 and $18. And then after that, when those were sold out, there was, I think, about 2,000 or 3,000 slots that we had available at those. Those were gone rather quickly. And after that, we made them available at $20 a pop, which is, kind of right around what the original cable sells for. However, ours is made from, quality materials and it's a little bit longer than the original one. After Kickstarter, going into retail, we're probably going to be offering these for around $24.
It's pretty high. Is it because the production cost is high?
Production cost is much higher than for like regular cables. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, because I'm looking at my iPad cable, and it seems okay. It doesn't seem like it's bad at all. But yours is different in that what? It doesn't fray, or what's so special about it?
So it's like we just focus on the key aspect of our product supposed to be doing. It's like there's a lot of gimmicks for charging, and of course there are also great ideas. But we thought that we just wanted to make a cable who fits the original product. So
besides that, it is made from the same materials as the actual devices. It will also solve some problems. So, like, for example, I'm not sure if it happened to you yet, but there's literally thousands of people leaving comments on comment board on Apple and other sites where, like, they actually connected the chips with the current devices, like the iPhone 5S, 5, and the iPads. The number one problems that they always rip. They always rip right in the bottom here. And they actually even they kind of they didn't really say sorry publicly, but they kind of admitted it, and so they are offering this, like, free exchange, which is okay, but it still doesn't change the quality. So you still run into this problem of having a junk product, which is odd because it's such a global company that puts out a product like this, and it's been already like that. Like, even with the old dot connector cables back in the days, like a few years ago, it was the same problem. And so that's kind of where we come in. We offer a premium quality product, and that's what it is.
Well, and so, we have to run to a break here real quick, but when we get back, I want to talk about some of the challenges that you faced starting a business in Hawaii, particularly involved in manufacturing, and what it took to make it a national company. So those of you watching, we're talking with the founders of Juicies. It's Lawrence Laudowicz, and we'll be right back after this break.
We want to thank our underwriters. Hawaiian Electric Company and its affiliates Maui Electric on Maui and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island are deeply committed to the communities they serve. Galen Ho is a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company. The High-Tech Development Corporation, the state's leading technology agency, attached to the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism. Castle and Cook Hawaii, with a time-honored legacy that spans more than 160 years and revolves around its mission of investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state. Hawaii Gas, formerly the Gas Company, a proponent of the Liquefied Natural Gas Initiative, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future. Collateral Analytics, a Hawaii-based tech company empowering the real estate industry with greater and faster access to the tools and data they need to make better informed property investment decisions. I'm Nicole Horry. Thanks so much for joining us on Think Tech. I'm Maria Kashem. See you next time.
We're back, we're live, and you're watching Think Tech Friday. Be sure to tune in every Friday at this time between 4 and 5 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time for the latest cool new high-tech stuff. So, of course, on our Friday episode, we focus on the next big thing. So we look for small companies, small outfits that are doing something that's important, something that's innovative, and something that's going to make a difference in your community. And we try to give them a little bit of a Think Tech promotion to give them some help here. So, of course, with us today is Juicies. They make a very high-end, or should I say, something that should be standardized product that allows you to plug in your Apple device, your Android device, and even if you're one of those guys, the BlackBerry devices, and get it charged without having your cables all frayed up. Now, of course, my kid likes to bend these things a lot, and if you look at some of my other tablet charging devices, you can start to see some fraying. And Lawrence was showing us earlier how when they fray, it gets to be a very frustrating situation, especially because if you like to order stuff on Amazon, you're going to have to wait a couple days. You're going to be out of a device for a few days before you can actually charge it up and use it again. So this product that you guys came up with, it sounds like it's an international collaboration. Now, how do you two know each other? Because there's a lot of distance between Hawaii and Germany.
So we've been grown up together. So Laudowicz is originally from Germany. So I don't know how many years we know each other.
I think we know each other since elementary school, so since we're about like 10, 11 years old or something, yeah.
So whose idea was it between you two?
Originally, it was my idea back in 2010. I came up with the idea. Hannes had just moved back from working in Dubai for several years, and I had just sold my previous business and was kind of actually looking around at what I wanted to do next. And
yeah, I was like, I always wanted to start my own business, and yeah, he picked the right moment, and yeah, he convinced me, and now I'm in.
And it was great timing.
Yeah.
Now, so you had the choice of starting a business in Germany or in the United States. Why did you pick the United States?
Actually, we did both.
Oh, what's the difference? What's the advantage?
You want to get into it?
Yes, you can start with the US, and I can talk about Germany.
So for us, it's all about distribution, right? So we have a great product that people like. However, getting it to people is a different story. Of course, we can sell things on our website, which we do, and works great. And we have a warehouse that fulfills everything for us based out of LA. However, actually getting a product to people requires it to be in retail stores or hanging on shelves. And in order to do that, we have to obviously have a company in the United States in order to, deal with distributors. So we have a company here in America that, we use for all of the US-based business. And then we realized quickly early on for working in Europe that wasn't going to be enough. So
yeah, it's a different market in Europe. So and it's much easier to have a company established there in Germany. According to the German laws, and even they trust more in you if you have a representative office in Germany. That's what we did.
Well, it's probably one of those things where there's a good local market in Germany, but it doesn't have the same penetration as, say, the U.S. market. Is there more money in the U.S.?
I would say yes.
Oh, it's a bigger market, maybe. But however, since when you combine that entire European market, it's a very, very big market as well. And the German market shouldn't be underestimated either. I mean, it's not 300 million people like it is in the U.S. However, there's still like some 80, almost 90 million people in Germany alone. And then you have the other European countries around it. But when being over there, we realized that the larger distributors and even some of the resellers, they seem to be a little bit uncomfortable with us being a U.S. company trying to set up shop with them. However, being a German-based company, they found it to be much more easy, I think. So.
But I think in general, you can say it's much easier to do business in the US than in Germany.
Okay.
There are several reasons, but yeah.
And how about Asia? Have you looked at Asia?
As far as sales or as far as what?
Well, there's a lot of people there. So you mentioned 300 million in the U.S. and 90 million in Europe. I think there's more than that in Asia combined. So
China alone has over 1.6 billion people now.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we just came back from Asia. I guess we would say Asia. We came back from China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. So our manufacturers' offices is set up in Taipei, Taiwan, and then we have some of the factories actually in China, in Shenzhen. So while being there and taking care of production, we always see that market too, and it is definitely a rapidly growing market, and there's a huge demand for premium products, definitely. Yeah. So, I mean, for us, we're small. We're just starting off. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and so we figure one step at a time. U.S. first, Europe second, whatever else comes, then that's great. But we want to get our ducks in a row first.
Would you say that Kickstarter is what made the big difference for you too?
I would say it was definitely a great launching pad. Yeah.
So if it wasn't Kickstarter, what would you have done?
That's a good question. We probably would have went the more classical way of using just our own funds and maybe trying to get funding through other means. But for us, it was also more than just funding.
Yeah.
We looked at it as more as like a testing the market. Yeah.
there's more effects. Like you have, of course, the funding, and then you can also have a marketing effect because you get a lot of eyeballs during the Kickstarter campaign. And then, of course, you can see if there's a demand for your product. So otherwise, it would make no sense to launch a product. So it's a great way.
And so Hawaii was a place where you kind of came up with the idea. It was your inspiration, and then you jumped directly to the U.S. market. Is that right?
Well, when we refer to Hawaii, it's not like it's not part of the U.S. market. Right? It's still one of the 50 states. So
it's a very small market, though.
It is a small market, yes. But I've lived personally in Hawaii for I think 12 years now, and so having lived there, naturally, I was looking at starting from Hawaii and not from anywhere else since I lived there. However, it was clear to us that as far as distribution and sales, Hawaii was not going to be the number one market. It was just going to be part of a larger market. So for us, we looked at national distributors that would be able to pick up a product and push it into the right locations. And so when we started off doing our strategic lineup for the year, Hawaii was part of it, but it wasn't really something that we needed to address right away. We figured that if we can get the distributor set up on the mainland, then once that's working out, they will also swap back to Hawaii, and that's sort of what's happening right now.
And so, in terms of expansion, where are you going to expand? Hawaii or somewhere else on the mainland?
Expansion as far as people working with us, or sales, or what do you mean?
Well, my guess is that the two of you may need some help. So where's that help going to come from?
Both, actually. So we actually have a small office in Germany, and there's 4 guys that are already working there with Hannes in Bremen. And then we have the guys in Taipei, Taiwan, that are working with us. So there's one main guy that we work with all the time. And then we also have a guy in China. And as far as Hawaii right now, it's actually, right now I'm the one that's located in Hawaii, but we are also looking into expanding that right now, mostly working out of a home office or out of the Box Shelly shared office, which is really kind of fun. And that's a great place as well to tap into resources, I'd say.
So really, it seems to me like your expansion is abroad, but we're going to keep this Hawaii base for the time being, or at least keep it call it home base. And
Hawaii to be home base, absolutely.
And you're going to continue to go around the country kind of promoting the product. I think when we last talked, you mentioned CES.
Yes, actually. So we're in San Francisco right now for one reason. I'm not sure if you can read this.
Money. Oh.
Yes.
So you seem to be very clear about what you want.
Well, it depends, I guess, how you look at it. But we're here because eventually we want to take this company a little bit larger than from what it is right now. And, time is a factor, money is a factor. So, we use the time here right now to figure out how exactly to do that. And shortly after this, so on Sunday, we're actually going to fly over to Las Vegas and I'm going to prepare for the CES, which is going to be the week after that, from the 7th to the 10th. And that's what we're going to be showing these little babies.
Great. And hopefully, maybe are you thinking of picking up more distributors there, or what's your goal behind CES?
That's one of the goals, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So picking up distributors, and seeing what the competition is doing, talking to our existing distributors, getting to know people that are in the industry, drumming up some sales for our existing product lines. So there's a lot of stuff happening there in that 1 week. Yeah.
Well, ThinkTech is a global program, so we'd appreciate it if you two could keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing, and maybe if you have any words of wisdom for an entrepreneur here in Hawaii, what would it be before we sign off?
For an entrepreneur in Hawaii, that's hardware based or just in general?
Well, let's just say a hardware idea.
Okay, I'd say that. Definitely, don't be intimidated by the fact that you're in Hawaii. Hawaii is actually a great place to try things out, and there's a lot of cool things happening over there in Hawaii right now. And it is, very close to, other parts here in the U.S., which is, like a big happening place in general in the world. So if I would want to give one advice, I'd say just go for it. Just give it a try. The first thing is to just do it. Just try it,
I mean, there are some obstacles, but we're working together since 2 years, virtually or however, and it works. So
yeah. So I think just try it. Try it out. The first thing is to just try it. Go for it. And then I think you'll figure it out from there. And I think that if anybody has any direct questions, feel free to reach out. peace.
Oh, great. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time, between all that fundraising there in Northern California, and best of luck at CES. Of course, those of you who were just tuning in, that was Lawrence Laudowicz and Hannes, his partner, there from Juicies. And we're going to be back after this break. We're going to be talking to the Cut Collective out of the Manoa Innovation Center. So stay tuned. I'm your host, Attila Saras.
I'm Hong Jiang, host for Asia in Review on Tuesdays.
And I'm David Day, host for Asian Review on Thursdays. Both of us broadcast our respective shows at 4 p.m.
And my topics tend to deal with questions related to environment, culture, history, and sometimes human rights.
And my shows tend to be on international business, foreign policy, geopolitics, and national security. And you can watch our shows live on the ThinkTech website at thinktechhawaii.com.
And you can also watch us on YouTube or Olalo.
So come join us on Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm David Day.
And on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., I'm Hong Jiang.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha, I'm Nicole Hori for ThinkTech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone No. 9 has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBET, the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone's mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Nicole Hori. Mahalo.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidel for ThinkTech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaiian Foreign Trade Zone, No. 9, has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBED, the Hawaii Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program. It does so to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Jay Fidel of ThinkTech.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of ThinkTech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our ThinkTech talk shows. If you didn't know it, ThinkTech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on ThinkTech. I'm Maria Kashem, and I'll see you there.
We're back, we're live, and you're watching ThinkTech Friday. I'm your host, Attila Saras, and on Next Big Thing, we look for small companies and organizations doing important things in your neighborhood, and we try to give them a little bit of a box, a little bit of a platform to talk about what they're doing and share ideas. So with us today is the Cut Collective. Thank you guys for joining me.
Hi.
We have quite a crew here. We have Summer Shiigi from the Cut Collective, Maida, let's see, Montemayor, I had that right, yes, and Allison Song.
Yes.
And so thank you for joining us in the studio. And you're based out of the Manoa Innovation Center, which is, of course, a hub of activity of all kinds of new businesses. And I believe you're actually new to the center. So welcome. Welcome. Now, of course, there's a screening process where they ask you all kinds of questions about what you're doing and how you're going to change the world. So why don't you give me the story that you told them? Why did you create the Cut Collective, and what is it all about, and why does it take so many of you to talk about it? So why don't we start with you, Summer? Tell me, what is the Cut Collective?
The Cut Collective is an incubator workspace hybrid, and we also offer manufacturing for textiles, mostly apparel for now.
Hybrid, so gas and electric. So tell me, what's the gas and what's the electric?
I guess our workspace it houses us, our personal offices, and we also have a great shared workspace where all of us designers can come together and collaborate, and we're each designing our own line, and we have other designers who work out of this space. So it's just a great place for creativeness to happen.
Oh, okay, so it's meant to kind of boost the Hawaii design community?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you guys do individually to help fulfill that mission?
I started my business as a stylist and a personal shopper, and that's how I was introduced to Allison and Maida, and now I'm starting my own clothing line.
And how about you, Allison? What do you do at the Cut Collective?
I'm actually a designer. So I've been doing it for about 5 years. And so I have a pretty good hold on the manufacturing here. I've manufactured all over from China, LA, New York, and then I finally brought my manufacturing here to Hawaii. So
why did you come to Hawaii after going to New
I
York?
live here. I'm from here. I always wanted to have my business here. You know, it was a great place to raise your family, and your family and friends are here. I mean, it is difficult. It has its challenges. The fashion industry isn't as large as it should be, but that's what we're here to do, is kind of bring more awareness to the industry and push manufacturing boundaries so that we can do more things than just the aloha shirt, the board shirt, the t-shirt. You know, we're trying to push that fashion boundary.
I like aloha shirts though.
It's good.
I think
It's
they
great.
sell everywhere.
Oh yeah, of course. But we wanted to show that Hawaii can design more than just that aloha kind of wear, you know.
So tell me about your past projects in New York and elsewhere.
I went to school in New York, and then I actually started my brand, Allison Izu. It's clothing for shorter women, and because it was denim based, I tried to manufacture first in China, which was horrendous. I had terrible, terrible problems there. And then I tried New York and LA back and forth. And then I did manufacture in LA for a few years, but it was just difficult to travel back and forth. And you know, I was based here in Hawaii, so.
And so how did you meet Ida?
Maida? I met Maida. Maida has a store. So
store?
Yes. So she started to sell some of my products. Summer is a stylist, she helped me. And we just all together collaborate in different aspects. And then we all found that we had this need for manufacturing.
You had the need for what, new talent or new products in your store, Maida?
Well, I guess because all of us wanted to create our own clothing line, we had the need for manufacturing in Hawaii. So that's why we created the Cut Collective.
And so where's your store? Tell me about your store.
So I opened Collins and 8th in the fall of 2010.
Collins and 8th. Where's that come from?
It's actually a cross street in Miami. I actually worked in Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week in Miami in 2009 or 2010, and I was just so moved and fell in love with fashion all over again, working and dressing the models and setting up the fashion shows, that I just knew that I had to pursue fashion more seriously. I'm a nurse by trade, and
There's a need for that too, you
there
know.
is. She's still doing that. I'm still doing that too. So I'm a nurse, I have a store, and now we're doing Cut Collective, and I'm starting my own line. So, but together, we work together, and just based off of like the different lines I sold from my store, and just based off what customers wanted, I knew that we had to produce more of a variety of Hawaii-made products, especially in fashion.
So what's in your store today, if I were to walk in?
Right now I have a lot of swimwear. I have a lot of resort pieces and a lot of holiday items. I used to have more men's items. I'm still trying to build the men clientele, so but I tried to always carry a good amount of made in Hawaii products, and that's how I met Allison and Summer.
And so the clothing that you're wearing now, did you guys design your own clothes?
Yes.
So this is an example
Partly.
of a Hawaii, was
Yes,
that
my
a jacket?
blazer, yes.
Blazer?
Yeah.
And so that's a Hawaii blazer, but it doesn't look overly Hawaiian.
Yes, it has like a mix, because I like to travel a lot too. So I'm just trying to build my line where someone from Hawaii can use it here, but wear it outside of Hawaii too.
That's a tough mix. So
It is.
what are people asking for in your stores? I'm just kind of curious, you know, what's the word on the street, you know?
It just depends on the season. Swimwear is always a big item that people want, especially swimwear that's made in Hawaii. Resort wear is always a big thing, but it just depends on the season. So in the holiday, people look for more dressy items or holiday wear, and when it's closer to summer, they look for denim shorts, more relaxed items. It kind of just depends.
Now, Allison, you said that you design things and there's a need for certain types of clothing here in
Yes.
Hawaii. So where's the gap?
Well, the gap is in manufacturing. A lot of brands are based here in Hawaii, but they're not able to cut and sew here in Hawaii just because the factories aren't trained to do certain fabrics, or they're not going to take small minimums, which a lot of the brands based out of Hawaii are small brands. So, you know, they're pushed to have to sew hundreds and they can't hit that minimum. So then they try to outsource it to Bali, or, you know, so we kind of are losing that made in Hawaii product, which makes it so unique.
Well, I know a lot of stuff that that says made in Hawaii is actually made elsewhere, but then it gets like a little Hawaii stamp on it.
Right.
So is that kind of the direction that the fashion industry is going? Do you guys design something here, send it to Asia to be made at a lower price, and then come back and put a Hawaii tag on it?
No. We are strictly trying to create everything here in Hawaii from start to finish. I mean, we of course have to source fabric and trim from elsewhere, but we're trying to do all of the cut and sew and designing in Hawaii.
Now, is there any assistance? I mean, is there any assistance involved in that? Are there any, state grants or anything to help the manufacturing community?
I mean, we are talking to some people right now, and HTDC, which is in Manoa Innovation Center, actually is our kind of, they're putting us through the manufacturing accelerator, because manufacturing is such a huge need now here in Hawaii. So, and we've been talking to DBED, and we're meeting with the Chamber of Commerce. So manufacturing is really the new business or the new focus. So we're really lucky and fortunate to have support.
And so you create this wonderful environment where people can come and create these fashion things. Now what happens after that? Say you get a fashion designer in there. Do you guys keep a percentage of their future earnings, or how does it work?
No, we're not an accelerator. We're helping them to figure out their cut and sew. So, there's so many pieces that go into cut and sewing, and if they want us to cut and bundle and sew and finish and everything, we can do it from start to finish, or if they just want to drop off things to get sewn up, samples, that sort of thing. So we're just trying to fill every, need.
Now, manufacturing seems like it's if it's such a hot topic, are you the only ones who are creating an environment such as this?
We're definitely the first kind of incubator hybrid in Hawaii, so we're really proud of that, and I think we're going to help a lot of people. There are manufacturing factories out here, there are shared workspaces out here, and I think us putting the two together really make us innovative.
And where are these other places where you can create clothing like this?
Well, there's a shared workspace, High Five. They put on Hawaii Fashion Month, so they work out of Ward Warehouse, and they have a shared workspace with a cutting table and sewing classes. So that's a great tool for people who are interested in possibly learning about design and creating their own line.
And so how are you guys different from Hi-Fi?
We're offering more manufacturing services, so once you're ready to take your business to the next level, to start producing higher quantities, better quality, to start selling to consumers or wholesaling to stores, we can help you along the way. Whether you're a new designer who has designs and has nowhere to start, we can help mentor you to get a product and a sample out. Or if you're an established designer who can do cutting and bundling and just needs it to be put through production, we can help with that too.
And then it can be in Midas store, right?
And then it could be in Midas store.
And within our space we have a showroom, and we have connections to sales reps, and so.
I will be creating an online store for our website.
Or an online store, so people can buy the actual products. And so now that you've started this out, how are you guys gonna make some money? I'm not sure if you saw the Skype interview before, but he was holding up his little hat and it said money on his hat, and I think my producer Jay and myself are gonna then look online. We're gonna look on Amazon and see if we can, unless you guys can make us money hats.
Maybe.
It's definitely doable. So how do you guys plan on being sustainable?
Well, we find that there's a lot, just being a stylist, and I'm sure Maida can agree, owning a store, we've met so many designers out here. I don't think the public knows that there's such amazing talent who have the ability to have great lines and show that Hawaii can be a fashion hub. So with that being said, I think the need for our manufacturing, especially in smaller quantities for smaller businesses and startups, I think we'd be able to push a lot of designers through our business and help everybody, help us, help them, help the industry. So.
And I think because we are trying to brand the Made in Hawaii label, so we've gotten a lot of interest from outside of Hawaii, most specifically Japan. So we're actually working on some jobs from Japan who want to be made in Hawaii. So I think that's kind of our our niche
Yeah.
also.
You can get that global market.
Yeah.
Pick that up.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to have to wait for one moment. We have to run to a quick break. I'm your host, Attila Seres. We're doing the Think Tech Friday series, Next Big Thing. Here with the Cut Collective, we have Summer Shiigi, Maeda Montemayor, and Allison Song joining us here in the studio. We'll be right back after this break.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidel for ThinkTech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaiian Foreign Trade Zone, number 9, has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBED, the Hawaii Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program. It does so to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Jay Fidel of ThinkTech. Mahalo.
We're back, we're live, and you're watching Think Tech Friday. I'm your host, Attila Seres. With us today, we have the ladies from the Cut Collective. They're putting together a hybrid fashion incubator program where you as an individual with the desire to make something new and innovative from a fashion point of view can come and learn and get it into a store. Pretty cool stuff. I like that. And of course, you guys probably have lots of stories to tell. So, and I hear laughing. So, why don't we start with Allison here? Why don't you tell me, Allison, what are some of the stories that you've come across in your years traveling and in fashion? Is it like the movies?
It's a little dirtier.
Dirtier
it's
than
not as
movies.
glamorous. I mean, because manufacturing is tough, you know. When I first started, I thought I had an in with manufacturing in China. I went through a year of just planning my line, and when it came to me, I had 2,000 pairs of jeans, and they were all wrong, and I couldn't sell it, and I was stuck with 2,000 pairs
Really?
of jeans. And that was my first manufacturing lesson. Very expensive manufacturing lesson.
So why do they make the incorrect jeans? Are they just sloppy, or is it they just don't care?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the process, and at the end, you know, I was a small fish in a big pond, so they probably didn't really think about all the quality points that I had agreed upon in the sample making process. So
Is that why you have to go there in person and kind of
it
oversee
is,
it?
and I did. I traveled back and forth, but it's expensive. But I mean, just because it was China, it didn't mean I tried to take my manufacturing to LA, and the same thing happened to me there. I've been through about 4 manufacturers just in LA.
Well, how are these guys surviving if they're creating inadequate product?
I mean, I guess there is an industry for a cheaper made product, but I was looking for a more high-end product. I mean, one of the manufacturers actually said he was making it in California, and he actually sent my things to China, and I could just tell, you know, just the quality and the fabrication. It was China made, so.
How about Mexico or some of these other places?
I mean, I felt like after I experienced it in LA and then in New York, I felt like wherever I went, just because of the barrier of distance, I would have the same problem. So I made it a mission to bring my manufacturing here in Hawaii. Even though nobody made denim here in Hawaii, I wanted to do it here.
Well, what's to stop that same problem from happening here?
I mean, I can visit my factory at any time. I can pop in, and I'm really hands-on now that I have my manufacturing here in Hawaii. You know, I can do the embroidery, I can pick it up from the embroidery, I can drop it off to my factory, I can cut things, I can change a lining fabric, I can change a zipper on the next day if I wanted to.
And so there's no opportunity to send any of that to China or elsewhere?
I mean, eventually, maybe if your business gets to a certain point, but it really is about having somebody that works for your company there at the factory. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's the successful models. You have someone actually working in.
Right.
And I think actually our last guest, that Juicy, that's exactly what they had. They had someone actually in Singapore.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they were overseeing the factory to make sure that their quality of product was good. Because obviously they're not making it themselves.
Right.
So that's the reason I'm so interested in the manufacturing portion and why it's so challenging. So you got to go there and live there. Okay.
You do.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you speak Chinese?
No, I don't.
No? Mandarin?
No.
Cantonese?
No,
Nothing?
no. I eat Chinese food.
So how hard was that?
Sorry.
That's fine. I lost my train of thought now. So. What we're talking about again? Oh yeah, Chinese. Yes, you like Chinese food, and And so dealing with China and not speaking Mandarin, how did that work?
I actually had a middleman who helped me find a manufacturer in China, based here in Hawaii, but they didn't live there either, so it's still a problem.
Sounds like you need to
Live there.
live there. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at least you like the Chinese food. So
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
true.
And so Maida, you must have now some really great stories to share too, especially trying to open a retail store in Hawaii.
Yes.
Wow, was that a fortune?
I could have built a house in my store. That was my first story with trying to find a contractor, but being an entrepreneur, you just have to find a way to make it work. So you can't always. You just have to know that what you're doing, and you just have to know that what you're doing is going to end up okay if you're passionate about it. So that was my first story. Contractors. Luckily, my loan didn't go through for that because I really would have had a house in my store.
Wow.
Yeah. But other stories, I have a lot of stories, but maybe I shouldn't share.
Well, let's substitute some names. Let's have a good one. What's the best one you have? Let's have some trouble customers.
No, customers are really great. Customers
Do they all like
are
Chinese
really
food?
great. Well, I am Chinese and I'm so I love Chinese food. But I feel like customers are really great. That's the whole purpose of why I do this, is because as a nurse also, I love helping people. I love helping people find things that they want. And now with manufacturing, our goal is to help people create what they want and just help us bring Hawaii to the world. That's kind of really what we want. But I think most recently, like one of my most favorite stories was sometimes, like, you want to give up as an entrepreneur. There are days when you don't see what's going to be most positive for your business coming your way. So some days you can make a decision to not keep going, and then you'll have this bright moment, like when a customer comes in that you haven't seen for a long time, and they'll tell you, please don't ever close because I love your store. You're the reason why I come to this area that no other store exists in. And they say that Ala Moana has no other options for them, but they always find something in your store. So I think just hearing those little reminders makes it all worthwhile. Just knowing that you're on the right track, even though the daily grind can be so daunting sometimes.
I hope someone from Price Busters is watching this, so they can maybe take a lesson from that. But I think it's too late. But, it's too bad because I hear the same thing. Everyone says, "Oh, I love Price Busters. We go there, and it's great." My kids just go there and tear the place apart. It's fantastic for them. But and so you're going to keep going, right?
Because I'm still a nurse. Not part-time, but as a call-in. I have Cut Collective now, and I'm trying to build my label, and I have call-ins. Not only the retail store, but we have an online site. So I feel like sometime in the future, something might have to give, because I feel like my energy is being taken to too many places right now, but we'll see.
Well, retail is tough, and brick and mortar. Fashion?
Yeah, and Hawaii rent, yeah.
Oh. What is Hawaii rent? What are you paying about?
It's
for retail.
It's more than I would wish to mention.
Really?
Yes.
No, I've heard anywhere from $3 to $7 after you factor in CAM. And I know if you go to Florida, as you know, 50 cents.
Oh God, I need to move there.
Yeah.
That's what my store is based off of. Florida.
Florida, yeah, like a lot of parts like Orlando, Miami. I mean, 50 cents to $1.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for prime retail. It's shocking.
Jesus Christ. Believe me.
Yeah. And then so I mean that's the reality of doing retail in Hawaii.
Right.
And so your margins have to be appropriate.
Yeah.
So.
But it's so beautiful here, and it's home.
Right.
So we just want to make it work.
Yes.
Well, or just adjust the business model, and I think that's what you guys are trying to do with Cut Collective. And so, of course, Summer, you must have some wonderful stories to share.
I have great stories. I have been very lucky in my career so far. I started in the retail industry over 12 years ago. I focused on small business, the boutique world, doing merchandising, buying, managing. So that was really great, and I built a lot of connections in the fashion industry just through the retail side of it. So when I decided to launch Summer Style as a stylist, things kind of fell into place really easily, and I had a really nice time doing fashion shows, lookbook photo shoots. I do a lot of freelance writing for Pacific Basin, like Honolulu Magazine or Honolulu Shops. I've even got to go to New York Fashion Week, so that was really great. And I think being in New York and seeing fashion there and seeing the passion, and it just really pushed me to create my own line. And I met with Allison, and she's been a great mentor so far, and having Maida come into our group and starting the Cut Collective has been just so inspirational for me. My line as well, I don't think I could have got as far as I am now. I'm launching a collection next spring 2014, so in the next couple months I'll have a full line out, and I wouldn't have that without these two in the Cut Collective.
So that's your big announcement on Think Tech next summer. Next summer.
No, this spring.
Oh, this spring.
This spring. So in 2
2014.
months, yeah.
2 months. You're gonna have a whole line of what is it? What kind of clothes?
Women's ready to wear. So I'm gonna have a lot of fashion pieces, but I also think obviously everyone has to work, and I don't think as a stylist that you should sacrifice style just because you have a career. So I'm gonna have some career ready pieces too for fashionable career women.
Fashionable career woman.
Yeah.
And of course, it's gonna be in Maida's store, right?
Some of my pieces are there. Yep.
And
online
and online.
at cutcollectivehawaii.com.
Yes.
And Allison, do you have any announcements to make about your line?
I don't know. My line's always evolving, so
She expanded to Japan.
yes, we're trying to get it into Japan now. I'm at Nordstrom's Hawaii, so we're in the petite section there.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
So it's really coming along. You
It's
guys
coming
are
along.
wonderful mentors.
it is.
Well, I expect some updates.
Yes.
And of course, updates on your website. What is the website where people can go and get more information about the Cut Collective?
CutCollectiveHawaii.com. Sorry.
CutCollectiveHawaii.com. Not, and what?
Oh, HI.
Oh, cutcollectivehigh.com.
CutCollectiveHi.com. All right, Cut Collective. You should probably get both domains and just.
I think we do. Actually, we do.
Merge
Maybe we get together.
And of course, people who are interested in getting in touch with you can get in touch with you there. And I'm guessing you're going to be recruiting in high schools, community colleges. What kind of events are you guys going to be doing?
We actually do some events out of our space on a monthly basis at the Manoa Innovation Center. So
even on the MIC's website.
we're there.
All right,
You can
perfect.
stop by, pop in, visit
Sign
us.
up for our email list where we will do event announcements.
Well, Allison, Maida, and Summer, thank you guys so much for coming on to Think Tech.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Keep us up to date. And of course, visit the cutcollectivehi.com for more information about the Cut Collective, and maybe you can get some feedback about your idea for a new fashion item. And of course, I really want to see some new stuff coming out of there. So thank you guys.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Well, of course, if you liked our show, go ahead and like us on Facebook. I'm your host, Attila Ceres, for Think Tech Friday. Join us next week. We're going to be doing some more cool stuff on Next Big Thing. Take care. We'll see you soon. Have a great weekend.